Hey everyone, I'm in a really good mood today. I tuned into cable this morning and I just recently discovered that Welcome Back Kotter is back on cable in our region of the country. And it's great. I've always loved Welcome Back Kotter, not because it's quite a good sitcom, but because it also takes place in Brooklyn, New York, which is where Gabe Kaplan himself comes from, Mr. Kotter. Uh, I've watched Welcome Back Kotter over and over again, and I figured out that the show takes place in Brooklyn, and it's not exactly James Buchanan High School. That's a fictitious name for what is called New Utrecht High School, and it's in the New Utrecht section of Brooklyn. You can see what used to be the B train running over the elevated line there. That's called the West End line of the New York City subway and elevated system. It's not served by the D train, not the B train, but before 2001, the B used to run over the West End line. And if you've ever seen Saturday Night Fever and you see Tony Manero walking down the street and you see the elevator line overhead, that's also the West End line, back when the B train used to run on it. It's not that far down the road from the New Utrecht section of Brooklyn. In fact, it's Bensonhurst, I believe, is the next town over from New Utrecht, where you see Tony Manero, walking down the street and comparing the footwear he's wearing to the footwear in the window. And Gabe Kaplan said that he ran into a lot of resistance originally, getting back to Welcome Back Kotter. He finally went to Michael Eisner, who at the time was the top man at ABC. And Michael Eisner liked the idea of a Marx Brothers-like comedy sketch that took place in a high school classroom. And he said, okay, let's go with it. And as a result, the show was a success. It was very funny. It was great. My favorite character, I think, would have to be Mr. Kotter himself, because I had a wonderful English teacher, a fantastic gentleman by the name of Mr. Lubow in Grady High School. Mr. Lubow was really cool, and he and Mr. Kotter are very much alike. And obviously, I'm saying that as a compliment to the both of them. And it's just one little thing. I know I'm nitpicking here, but it kind of gets on my nerves that Mr. Woodman, a very funny character in his own right on Welcome Back Kotter, was called a vice principal. And I guess in order to make the title that he held more palatable for the rest of the United States, they called him a vice principal. If you really want to get technical about it, and I'm kind of anal and nitpicky about calling people by the proper titles, we had no vice principals in our schools in New York City. We had assistant principals, many, many assistant principals. They were never ever called vice principals. And I think to make the show more authentic, they should have referred to Mr. Woodman as an assistant principal. We New Yorkers seem to be kept out of the loop on a lot of things like that. For example, we weren't graded A, B, C, D, or F on our report cards. We were given numbers from either 41 all the way up to 100 if we were numerically graded on our report cards, or we had excellent, satisfactory, improving, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory. So E, S, I, N, or U on our report cards. And just to make it more realistic, Mr. Woodman should have been called a vice principal, just the same. But otherwise, I enjoy the show very much, and I hope you will too. If you've never seen it before, it's a good classic sitcom. Okay? All right. Hey, be good. We'll see you next time.